All right, back on the John boat project. Time to make this transom improvement permanent. I've got my splash guards welded on. Everything's drilled and ready to accept the motor. We're going to get that on here next. Down here in the floor where the stiffeny's going to bolt on, there's a wall inside of here. Right across there where I can't get to those two screws. So those are thread and tapped. Thread and tapped. Is that a new word? Thread and tapped. 5/16. These are going to be 1/4 inch through bolted. And of course through the back, the motor bottom bolts are here. That holds it on tight as can be, and that should be plenty. This is 1/4 inch plate all the way up. And then of course the top motor bolts through the bracket we made. So let's get this thing installed. It's going to be easy enough. I'm excited. It's time. I'm going to test this out this afternoon along with our float pods. Should all fit. Oh, looky there, looky there. Alright, I got a couple of these bolts to push through just to keep stuff in line when I'm doing this. Alright, these will get bolted down. All these bolts I'm using, stainless steel. Stainless steel's got a horrible habit of galding a thread, then all of a sudden it stops and don't go on, don't go off. Life is miserable then. You got to figure out how to break it off. It's in a bad place here. So always grease your threads, use never sees or something to make it better. Okay, here we go. Let's get these 5/16 thread ones first. So far, so good. All right, get our 1/4 inch bolts. All right, that's a good start. The wings back here, I've tapped and thread these. So those are just going to be held on with some little screws. That's just to keep a splash guard. And hey, let's get the motor mounted on. Here we go, let's do it. And just like that, we're ready to hang the motor. We've got our splash shield screwed on in place, everything's solid. This is all bolted down. We got the 2 bolt holes for the motor just to get it lined up, and we'll set it down in there and run our 2 top bolts through. I was running it all the way up as high as it could go with the old system. I don't think I'll have to run so high now. Let's get it on there. I'm anxious to go out in the boat. just about done, and I just remembered my steering cable has to go in the motor before it goes on the boat. Oh, here we go again. Well, I'm going to take it back off and put it back on. We'll be back. Okay, the worst part about that is, I don't know what the worst part, I had to do it twice, but I got the motor built back on. It's good. I put these big washers in the front just because didn't need them. This is a 1/4 inch plate, that's more than enough. Shaved this top one off a little bit on the outside edge, just, it looks good. Bolted top and bottom. Got my steering cable in now, so I got to tighten that nut. Wire the motor all back up. On the Suzuki, I had to take the whole side plate off to get to the throttle cables and all to undo all that. And I'm just looking at the steering arm now. I got to take that off to put it on the other side. That's all right. That's an easy one. Okay, well, there's the motor on the boat with our new transom extension, splash well, float pods. Oh, this is coming out great. I think we're going to do a test ride this afternoon. Thanks for joining me. Okay, there it is, all put back together. You know, it started out as putting float pods on it, and then we ended up flipping it over and doing a bottom coating on it. Then we weren't happy with the motor bracket, built a new motor bracket. And I thought, well, I'll just put this back together today. It'd take a few minutes, but shoot, by the time I got it all wired back up, plumbed in, battery back in, all that, it took me several hours. But anyways, there she is, looking good. Back on the water here, we're going for a test ride. I'll bring the camera and we'll let you know how it did. There it is with the float pods. It made a fantastic difference. You know, it normally would have been floating 4 inches lower than that. Gotta love it. It worked out good. It didn't get on plane any faster, but it did okay. It handled about the same. It cornered a little better, actually. Anyways, we're pleased, very pleased. It did what it was supposed to do.